Oh, man, how about that? How about that? How we feeling, people? How are we feeling after that game? One of the all-timer games. 44 years of the Dome. Stick it on the short list. Clemson, Virginia Tech, West Virginia, Nebraska. Add a new one to the group. This Miami game today was unbelievable. From getting stuck in the 21-0 hole, from having to overcome some just insane penalties and whatnot during the game. Fran Brown, Kyle McCord, year one, 9-3. Miami is out of the ACC championship game, their first game of the Dome in 22 years, and Syracuse gets it done. My goodness, what a game. What a and it was a high quality. Credit to Miami as well. I mean, the two quarterbacks today, what a high quality college football game. We knew it was going to be a quarterback duel. We hoped it would be a quarterback duel in a shootout today, and we got everything we could have possibly wanted out of that one, including one of the legit big Syracuse football wins of all time. Add in stakes for Miami, college football playoff, ACC championship game, Fran Brown year one, Kyle McCord cementing his one-year legacy here at Syracuse. A bajillion recruits were there today. Signing day is Wednesday. You think this is going to help a little bit? My goodness. My goodness, what a day. What a game. It was absolutely everything. Everything we could have hoped for and more. All right, we got you here on our Burdick post-game coverage. We're rocking a Cuse Sports Talk commercial-free exclusive today, brought to you by our friends at Labatt. Check the, sign, dimmer switch, vibes, lighting, whole deal. You know it. We got you here on the Twitch at CuseSportsTalk.com. We got you on the YouTube. I got eyes on you as well, YouTube. We're filling up. We're just going to hang out. We're vibing here. We got no commercials. The phone lines are open and available. Our DWITom.com hotline at 315-437-7644 within the next hour or so. Give a call. Let's talk. Let's chat. We'll hear Fran's full post-game press conference whenever the time becomes available. We will listen to the players. I'm sure we'll hear from McCord as well. I don't know how long it's going to take to get all that stuff today, but my goodness, what a game. What a game. What a game. Well, we'll be able to look back later in years down the line, and we'll know then if this game set up something to come. We'll know then. We don't know now. We've thought over the years some of these games, Clemson in 17 was setting up things to come, and they did or they didn't or whatever. But, man, this is short list, at least in my memory, one of the best games in the history of the Dome. One of the best games in the history of the Dome. I mean, it's this one. It's the Clemson game. Even in a loss, I thought we were trending toward a Tennessee-type game today, the way some of those calls were going. The Virginia Tech game from 98, it was a loss, but the Miami game in 92, toss in West Virginia 87, Nebraska 84, of course. This is on the list. It's on the list. It's on the list. In year one of Fran Brown, in the only year of Kyle McCord, in a game they trailed 21-0. I heard Mike Monaco was saying as they went off the air today on ESPN, this was the largest comeback in the history of Syracuse football, apparently. My goodness. My goodness, what a game. What a game. All right, so phone lines are open. Here's what we're going to do. Phone lines are open. My guess is, what are we, it's 7:18 here in the East. My guess is Fran will be by in 20-ish or so. I don't know. That's been about his time. Last game, that win. But we'll hang out here. We'll hear all of Fran and the players after the game today. We'll get your calls in before and after that. We'll talk with you guys in the chat, all of that. Phone lines open, 315-437-7644. Let's start it off on the phones. We're going to Texas. We're going down to Austin, Texas. We got Randy with us. Hey, Randy, welcome in.
You know, I don't have you know what my topic is. Oh, my goodness. Just wow. It's hard to make me speechless, Brian.
That's a reasonable topic after that one, Randy.
Well, in the first quarter, I was like, one stop, please. My wife was probably getting, and they got it right on the field goal, penalty or not. Not to mention the turnover. One stop, please. They got it, and I don't know how they ran out the clock, man, but Allen was a man possessed, wasn't he? I was like, yeah, Allen's not giving the ball back. And then they ran the play to Pena.
Great call.
And that was it. Yeah, I was saying, easy to say this now, right? But I was saying, get the ball outside, and I think they can end it here. And they did, and yeah, I got nothing else, man. I thank you for having me on, and this is just, oh, I guess I can make you laugh. Should Ward be the Giants QB? And I'll let you get to some other call.
Hey, honestly, he was pretty good today too. I'll take him. Whatever. I'll take McCord. I'll take them all. They both look great today. It
was. I haven't seen a game like this in a while. You mentioned the West Virginia game. I thought about that. Like, who can get a stop, right? Who can make one more play? And between Grant and holding onto that field goal, and Miami had some dumb penalties at the end, didn't they? That 15-yarder and then the offsides, and that was, I thought I was watching our Giants. Just trying to make you laugh, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Randy. Thank goodness we're already done with the Giants for this week too, because they had a way of trying to spoil Thanksgiving the other day. But man, oh man, and go figure on today of all days, Kyle McCord's got to be feeling some kind of way right now, huh? Especially considering what happened with Ohio State earlier today with Michigan. They put up 10, and he goes out and drops 42 on Miami in the Dome. Some things are meant to happen, I suppose. Kyle McCord coming to Syracuse. Man, talk about Little League, Kyle, all that. McCord's numbers today, 26 of 36, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Now, he could have thrown 1 or 2, but that's his style. Heck, Cam Ward was great. They were both great. I said this before the game. I've said this all week. My hope was this is what they'd give us, and they gave it to us. They both gave it to us. Ward was 25 of 36, 349 and 2 scores. He was fantastic. He was as advertised. He was absolutely as advertised. Great player. McCord, great player. To Randy's point, LeQuint, what a closing drive he had. He only averaged 3.7 yards a carry today, but 22 for 82. Those were hard-earned yards today for LeQuint Allen. Hard-earned yards today, and they happened at exactly the right time. What a day for Jackson Meeks, the first 2-touchdown game of his career. 7 for 110 and 2. Trevor Pena, go figure, he gets another freaking touchdown called back. Officially, he gets 6 for 128 and a score, and the jet sweep that essentially sealed the game. Aranda Ganson only had 4 for 50. It felt like he did more than that. LeQuint, and on his running, he also had 6 catches for 61. LeQuint was a beast today. All right, let's go back to the phones. Our DWITom.com hotline is open at 315-437-7644. Hop on, join in. We're hanging out. We're in the chat. We got you on the Twitch. We got you on the YouTube. Full Fran Brown press conference to come. Let's bring in our guy, Dro, in Clay. Hey, Dro.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Outstanding.
Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving.
You as well.
Yeah, thank you. It was definitely a big program win. This is an unbelievable win. To sit down, be 21-0, and to think that they took a touchdown away from us too, and to come back, to bounce back the way we did. You got to get a defense props. I felt they were aggressive throughout the game, bringing the blitz. Kyle McCord was just unbelievable today. I know there's some of us are upset that, gosh, we had just beaten Stanford. Would we have a shot at the ACC championship? I don't know. But with that said, what this win does is it gets people excited for Syracuse football. You can now hit the transfer portal saying you beat a top 10 team in Miami. We watched SU for a long time, obviously, and I think this might be one of the biggest wins in probably 15, 20 years. Am I missing a bigger win than this?
Go back what? Who knows how long? Go back, let's say post McNabb, Dro. It's this and the Clemson game, right? It's those two games.
And I think we beat Clemson. We ended up not even making a bowl that year. I'm trying to be realistic. It's been a long time to beat a good. we beat Florida State that one year in 17, but Florida State was down. This Miami team was looking to win the ACC championship, and we knocked them out. And that makes me feel good because I know there's a lot of Miami fans in the area, like they were in the 80s, all the Georgetown fans that grew up there, Miami and Georgetown. I'm just checking in them, making sure they're okay too. But what this does is for the future of the program, it builds the confidence, the trust that Fran Brown, what he's doing is working, and it's going to get people behind this team going forward. And that's the most important thing. I hate to ask this question, though. People talk about a bowl game now. What bowl game? I know the Pop-Tart Bowl is there today.
Yep.
The question I have is this, and it's going to come is Common Core playing the bowl game? I mean, this is what it is now. If you don't make that playoff game, some of these players choose not to play. I think it was Sean Tucker in the Pinstripe Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, those things to worry about. But let's celebrate today because this is Fran Brown put us back on the map, I feel, with this win. 9-3, his first year. I mean, a loss to Stanford that went kind of either way, and then, the Boston College game and the Pitt game. Other than that, I mean, we've had some big wins. UNLV, obviously. Winning in California was big, and coming back beating Miami today, I mean, it's impressive, and it was lights out. And hopefully Fran can get the next quarterback in the portal, and I think he's going to, and I think people are going to start believing, and maybe not hear as much negative talk about the football program going forward. But this was a big win today, and SU fans should be happy with this win.
Absolutely, Tro. And, I mean, how could today, obviously money and NIL plays a huge part in it, but how could today not influence a quarterback in the portal for next year? And, Tro, talking to Kyle over the last couple of weeks, and we talked about it on his show the other day, Kyle wants to play. Like, if all the other stuff didn't exist, he would play in the bowl game, and he wants to, but he's got to, think about it realistically when it comes to, draft and all the stuff that goes on. So it's something he's not made a decision on yet. I think if he was if he was just said, I want to go play football, he'd go play the game. But we'll see. I think, honestly, today may help him play in the game more because now you're going to be in a good game against a good team. That's a good place for McCord to go show his stuff. So I think it's maybe more likely he plays in the bowl game now than had they lost today.
Right, but then you got to know what did the agents say? I'm not sure because you go over the past few years, you look at the teams who have not been in the championship series. What used to be only the 4 teams. A lot of players, big name players, have chose not to play. So our agents telling him not to play. Now, what I'll do is I'll piggyback what you said is he might want to come back and play, but he played so well today.
Yeah.
That it might be tough to top that game, and he may be. Who knows? But you know what? Regardless. If he plays or not, we want him to play, obviously, but this is a signature win today, and to be 9-3, it's exciting. And let's get in the recruiting trail. Let's get some recruits in here. Let's hit that transfer portal, which Fran Brown will do. Mm-hmm. And it's a very exciting time to see football, and we have a heck of a schedule next year. So we need some big recruits. But man, Meeks played well today, and Allen really sealed the deal with his running. And what a play call at the end of the game to Penny on the reverse. Everyone knows you have to run the ball, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Let's throw a reverse in there, throw him right, and get the first down. Just a program-changing win. And it's a good day to be a Cuse fan and to beat Miami, who I think is a very arrogant football team, arrogant fan base. It's very nice to shut those guys up. And look, I love my Cowboys. I love seeing Michael Irvin there, but not today, pal.
Yeah, good to watch it. As a Giants fan, it's even better, Drew, to watch him go down. So I got nothing going on with the Giants, so it was all good there today. All right,
exactly.
Drew, thanks for the call, man. There he is, our guy Drew in Clay. All right, let's keep it moving. So we'll see if Kyle plays. I know Kyle wants to play in the bowl. Man, can we get Cuse, Colorado? Coach Prime has already said that Shadur's playing. Let's saddle up and ride. Let's do that. Where can we do that? Is there any ACC Big 12 bowls out there? The Pop-Tarts Bowl. Oh, what's better for Pop-Tarts than McCord and Shador? Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Get the Pop-Tarts people on the line. All right, let's get back to the phones. Hey, it's Vito in Liverpool. What's up, Vito?
Hey, I'm going to give you guys a call-in show idea. You guys, if we get the Pop-Tart Bowl, you guys got to give Pop-Tart packages away on your call-in show.
There we go. I'm hoping that, selfishly, that if we get the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Pop-Tarts people will hook us up with some Pop-Tarts so we can, we can all enjoy, and then we can all enjoy it together.
Strawberry frosted. Those are the best.
There you go. I got no problem with that. I enjoy, those brown sugar cinnamon or the s'mores ones. I'll go to town with any of them. We're good with Pop-Tart.
So I just wanted to bring up the quarterback play. Obviously, I'm extremely happy like everybody else. I'm just looking forward now. So I obviously Fran Brown's a smart guy, and he knows that to continue this train moving forward on the tracks, he's going to have to keep getting good quarterbacks.
Yep.
I know that they got Luke Carney. He's a 3-star out of Texas, I believe. He looks good, but he's going to be a freshman next year. They did have a dude, what's his name? Peyton Falzone of Nazareth High School in Nazareth, PA. 6'5", 200-pound quarterback. He's top 200. They had him in the dome today. He's a 2026. So that would be good to get a commit from a guy like that, nice and tall. But he's got to hit the portal next year. It's looking like they've got to try to find another McCord because I would love to see the success continue, and it would stink if they can't fill the quarterback spot next year and build off this 9-win season and increase that. So I'm sure he's going to surprise us pleasantly with a good quarterback off the portal. So that's what I'm hoping. But, yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of Joe. He was a beast, Allen. I mean, you could see at the end he was not going to let them lose. He carried the team, wanted to make sure he got those first downs while the clock ran. You know what I'm saying, Brian? He was there, man. He just put him on the back.
He was great. He was great. I mean, all day, that was hard running against that Miami D-line early in the game. But you're right, Vito. Like that last drive, after the first run, I knew there was still like 3 minutes left. You're like, yeah, it's over. He's getting it done. Look, Quinn's not letting him lose this game right now.
I'll just say one last thing. It intrigues me with a guy like McCord who's so freaking good. What happened in the Pitt game? Like, obviously, you sit down and the season's over. It's that kind of conversation. You say, you're so good. Like, what happened where you throw 3 pick sixes and 5 picks overall in a game like that? Like, how do you break down in a game like that? It was so weird because Pitt collapsed. I mean, yeah. I think they lost 4 in a row after that game. It was incredible to me that we could not be competitive in that game. Obviously, it's tough to be competitive when you throw 3 pick sixes, but I would love to pick his brain on that because he's an elite-level NFL caliber quarterback, and how do you collapse so bad against a team that really is not that great? So that's all I got, man. I'm real happy on the season. I wish we could have won the Stanford game, but it is what it is.
All right. Thanks, Vito, as always. And, yeah, talking to Kyle after the Pitt game, he's like, I don't even know. Like, he was obviously completely pissed off at what happened to that game, and that was Vito on the DWITom.com hotline. Give a ring here. Phone line's wide open until the Fran Brown press conference starts live. We'll carry it in full right here. We'll hear from Kyle McCord, I presume, after that, and some other players as well. 315-437-7644. Yeah, Kyle has no idea there were tip passes. It was a mess. It was a once-in-a-lifetime just calamity. But, how many times did that game, that was an all-timer, did that game happen and then the wheels fell off of everything with Syracuse football? That game happened? Syracuse is 4-1 since that game. That game happened, Pitt's 0-5. Wild. 4-1 November. 4-1 November. Remember when November sucked? This is better. This is better. I enjoy this more than things going terribly wrong all the time. 9-3, winning games, beating Miami. First time beating Miami in the freaking Dome since 98. Yeah, that's more fun. All right, let's get another call in. We got Mike in Williamson on the line. Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Outstanding. What a game today, Mike, huh?
Brother, just reminds me way back from the Nebraska game. And if you can't think Coach Mack was there today, he was there.
Yeah, I'd say I'm putting this, is it better than Nebraska? I'm putting this with Nebraska, West Virginia,
absolutely.
Virginia Tech, Clemson. Game. This is up there, right? Top 5, certainly top 10, top 5 all-time games in that building.
I'm an old guy, and I'm thinking Nebraska for myself.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah, it was fantastic today, Mike. Absolutely fantastic. You're right, though. This causes us to go back, 40 years searching for comparisons, what we saw today.
And absolutely. And you know what the best thing is? I think Coach Fran's going to bring the football team back. And not only when he brings the football team back, it brings the university back. So you're looking at the basketball program, women's and men's basketball, the lacrosse, the soccer. You're looking at all the sports, and I really think he's bringing the excitement there. And he loves the university.
No, you're right. Especially in this day and age with how important football is with TV contracts and money and conference affiliation and all this stuff, it is vitally important, right now, for Syracuse to be good at football. So Fran Brown could not have showed up and done this at a really a more important time in the history of college sports, considering what's all going on in the world out there. Oh, all right, Mike. Okay, thought that was more interesting. I guess not. But yeah, like it's vital to be good at football right now. You have to be good at football right now. I think we got another. Nope, not another call coming in, but give a ring, 315-437-7644, DWITom.com hotline. I'm going to guess we're probably on the alert for Fran Brown sooner than later. What crowds we got here on the YouTube? What crowds we got here on QSportsTalk.com on the Twitch? While we wait for more calls to come in on our hotline, we'll check out the chat, see what's going on today. Yeah, Paulie Gee. If SMU wins that game, and the ACC is only getting one team in the playoff, I would imagine. I just can't see Miami getting in after today. Clemson lost today to South Carolina. They're not getting in with a loss. Yeah, I do wonder, and that also could potentially negatively affect Syracuse's bowls, though so many of them are like equally weighted bowls these days. It's not like this is bowl 1, bowl 2, bowl 3 anymore. The H is silent. Paulie G. All right, Paulie G. Thank you for that. No, Minnesota Dan. It is not confirmed that Kyle isn't playing in the bowl game. Kyle, I've talked to Kyle several times about this on the air and off the air. Kyle wants to play in a bowl game, but he is also aware of the reality of the world around him and has not made a decision yet. So that's kind of where it is. And when he told me this, I don't think he was pulling the wool over my eyes. I believed everything he was saying, and I think it matters. My guess is, and I could be wrong here, that was Kyle McCord going to play in the Fenway Bowl against, East Bum State? Probably not. Would Kyle McCord play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl or the Holiday Bowl against Shadur Sanders in Colorado? Oh, yeah. I think he might like to do that. So we'll have to see where it goes. And bowl reps there today. Syracuse, ESPN. There are 3 big stages this year. Fell on their face against Stanford. Really fell on their face against Pittsburgh. Today against Miami, they showed up, and they showed up in an exciting and compelling way that would make bowls want Syracuse. That would make bowls want Kyle McCord and Fran Brown and the Syracuse Orange. Now Syracuse moved into a way that is actually interesting television. ESPN is heavily involved in a lot of the creations of these bowl matchups. Syracuse today put themselves on the interesting television stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What's going on over on the YouTube chat? Phone lines again open, 315-437-7644. That's the thing, Florida guy. If he's going pro, he is going pro. I mean, it's not if he's going pro. His eligibility is up. He's going to be in the East-West Shrine game. He'll be agent, training for the draft, the whole thing. He knows all that. So, like we've talked about, he says, I want to play in the game, but there's all the other stuff, and he's got to listen. He's also got to take the advice of the people that advise on those things. That said, Cam Ward's going to be a top 10 draft pick today. Kyle's not. I don't know where he's going in the draft, 4th, 5th, 6th. I don't know where he's going, but he's not locked in high enough that it's only negative. So I'll see. We'll see how it goes. Either way, I'll say this. As much as that stinks, I'm sure you, all of us would agree on this. Would you like to watch Kyle? The bowl game without Kyle McCord is a downer, right? If Kyle's not playing the bowl game and it's Jakari Williams or whatever, it's all right, great season. This game doesn't matter. Let's celebrate it and see what happens and maybe get a look at the future. If Kyle McCord plays, say it's Colorado and Shadur Sanders, that's just, who knows? Coach Prime says a lot of stuff, but Deion said the other day that, they all play into the bowl game. Say it is a fully stocked Colorado team who still has a shot at the playoffs, depending on how things go today, or against Kyle McCord and Syracuse. All of a sudden, that becomes one of the biggest non-playoff bowl games of the year, and it's, fun. So, I don't know how it's going to break down, but the football fan part of me wants to see that game. Like the understanding of Kyle and these guys, Oronde, what they're trying to do and get to the pros. Like I understand the other side. Unfortunately, it makes the lesser bowls kind of stink when those guys don't play. But, what can you do? What can you do? My hope is at some point, like you talk about injuries and whatnot, that bowls start paying some of these stars NIL to play in the game. Like toss Kyle, I don't know, an amount of money. Like, hey, Pop-Tarts Bowl, hey, Holiday Bowl. You want to make sure you got your guy to sell some tickets? Toss him a few bucks and he'll play in the game. It's been a blast watching Kyle McCord play this season, has it not? And this is what we don't know. Like, they open with freaking Tennessee next year, like in Atlanta. Like, that is a big, big, big ball game. That is a hard football game. If we went into the offseason knowing you had Kyle McCord for that game, you're feeling a certain kind of way of it, right? Now it's going to be really interesting to see who's going to be in the mix to be starting that game next year and the season next year. But, man, you're right out the chute. You're not tiptoeing into the shallow end of the pool. You are deep into the pool and going. Great crowds here. Post game today on Cuse Sports Talk, be it on the Twitch, on the YouTube, wherever you are. Man, Fran was fired up today, huh, chat? In Fran we trust. EF, absolutely right now. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. I know I hate to bring this up, but as Cuse observers and fans, we've all been through this a time or two. We all get a little nervous. Coaching change season, blah, blah, blah. Fran will have to have caught people's eyes. Until otherwise, I choose to believe him. He's a man of his word, that he's here for the long haul. Boy, I hope it's right because, man, what a fun year. This team showed fight in a different way than we've seen in a long, long time. They were down 21-0 today. They got absolutely screwed out of that first touchdown. Admit it, you all thought the game was over, right? 7-0, screwed out of a touchdown, 14-0, 21-0, same old Cuse. Not today. Not today. Why? Fran Brown and Kyle McCord got everybody else to buy into all this. And it worked. It's crazy. It's crazy. Also, like, Mario Cristobal's game management at the end of the game is like, what are you doing, man? Like, I get it wasn't necessarily high odds. You hadn't stopped Syracuse literally in 3 quarters, and you kicked the field goal. Also, his timeout usage at the end, I get it wouldn't have mattered because Syracuse kept getting first down. You call the timeouts before there's the 2-minute warning you got to call before. But he's the guy that was running the ball last year when he should have been kneeling down. So he's not exactly the most, the strongest game management expert that has ever been. All right, I don't know how long we're going to take today till we get to Fran. I'd say we're right in the range of when normally Fran would get to the podium. I have a feeling that, they're field rushing that game. Everything we just went through over the last 4 hours today, going back to 3:30. They might take an extra minute in the locker room before they all get out there. Bixby, do you think we can go to a bowl game that's not ref by ACC officials? Actually, I do think that I'd say almost every bowl game that is ref by officials from conferences not involved in the game. So, yeah, I think we're done with ACC refs for the year. Woo! Done with ACC refs and the CW. Fantastic. What a game. What do we have to do on this pod? I don't even know what we got to do today. We're just enjoying the fun today. We're vibing out. We got the Labatt sign on. Thanksgiving weekend. Cam Ward for Heisman in the chat says Cam outplayed McCord today. All right. Let's go with that. Sure. And nothing against Cam Ward. Honestly, Cam Ward was fantastic today. My Giants need a quarterback. If the next quarterback's Cam Ward after watching today, I'm cool with that. I'm not saying Kyle McCord should be a first-round draft pick or anything, but Kyle McCord, as good as Cam Ward today, and he was fantastic. Kyle McCord outplayed him today. He outplayed him today. Is he a better prospect, this, that, whatever? Who cares? Who cares? Let's make this our Orange Insight today, powered by Staff Leasing. Let's look at the quarterbacks. They were both great. Cam Ward completed 69% of his passes for 349 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's fantastic. Kyle McCord completed 72% of his passes for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns. They both threw 36 passes. All of McCord's numbers are better. It was fantastic today. They were both great. It was everything we could have hoped for. It's the 2 best transfer portal quarterbacks in the country this year, and they came out and they did it against each other today, and it was fantastic. That's Orange Insight, powered by Staff Leasing. Let Staff Leasing handle the heavy lifting when it comes to HR and payroll so you can concentrate on scoring big in your industry. Visit staffleasinghr.com to learn more about how they can help your business stay in the game. You know, Dan, there's the thing. And Minnesota Dan in the Twitch chat brings up this question. Without being a killjoy. It's a bit of a killjoy, Dan, but we'll entertain it here until Fran gets to the podium. Will SU be able to raise the money to keep Fran Brown? Syracuse, and now do I think this is happening after 1 year and his first year ever being a head coach? Probably not. But say an SEC or Big Ten team, because realistically that's who's got the funds to do this, came to Fran Brown and said, here's $8 million a year. Realistically, Syracuse ain't paying $8 million a year for a head coach. So the question is this, and I don't know the answer to this. Fran Brown has said, I'm here for the long haul. I don't know what Fran's making right now, but let's call it 4. I mean, Dino was making ish around 4, a little bit more than 4. I'm going to guess Fran's probably in the same general neighborhood right now. Like if some school comes in, and, I mean, look at what just happened with Cignetti at Indiana after having the great year this year. He got an 8-year, $64 million extension, $8 million a year. Can Syracuse front that bill right now? I would be stunned if they could. The question is, say Syracuse made it $5 million a year. I think you can get by on 5. Not that I'm taking money out of the guy's pocket, but everything Fran has said, I want to be a Northeast football coach, and blah, 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 and this and that, and Jersey and all this stuff. And we've bought into it. For now, for today, I choose to believe he was telling us the truth. We've been proven wrong time and time again with various things. For today, I choose to believe we heard the truth. Hopefully we did, because assistant coaches will move on and whatever, but the energy that Fran brought to it, and a lot is McCord, because the odds of getting a portal guy that's as good as him next year, not great. And that's nothing to do with Fran or the portal or guys that will be available. It's just not likely that you're going to get somebody who can do that. He had the best passing quarterback season in school history. And it's not close. It's not close. So we'll have to see who's the starting quarterback next year. And the schedule obviously gets, in theory, who knows? Obviously, the schedule this year worked out differently than expected, but the schedule next year gets, in theory, significantly harder when you look at SMU, at Clemson, Tennessee to start the season. But, man, you could not have had a better first year as a head coach if you're Fran Brown. Yeah, do you want the Stanford game? Would you prefer not to throw 3 pick sixes at Pitt? Yeah. But you take a team that was kind of drifting. They were winning games, but they were drifting the last few years under Dino. You take that and provide a distinct identity and win 9 games and bring in one of the best quarterbacks in school history and bring excitement back to the program and do that all in year 1? Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But, and yes, Fran Brown press conference coming up. We will get you the Fran press conference in full, followed by players when it happens. I imagine it'll be going shortly. And as always, presented by William Mattar. Hurt in a car, call William Mattar at 444-4444. I think that's the right amount of force. Hit 4 a lot. You'll get them on the line. But this is a situation where, man, if Fran is a man of his word, he's like, I want Northeast job, blah, 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 blah. And if that all comes true, Syracuse has a shot here. And I think hope, more than anything, what this season did is it restored legitimate hope to Syracuse football. Like, legitimate hope is back for the future of Syracuse football in a way that it has not been in a long, long time. Go back to the 2018 season, right? They go 10-3, but that felt like, at the time, it felt like a period, if not an exclamation mark, but we were still excited about DeVito and what might come, and then we saw. Like, the air came out of the balloon so fast. It just doesn't quite feel this way. Phil says he thinks McCord ended up with over, let's see, he needed, 53 to get to 4,000 in this game? Yeah, he threw for 380 today. Yeah, he's over 4,300 yards. He's over 4,300 yards. Leading passer in the country. Leading passer in the country. Outdueled Cam Ward. And not on a day that Cam Ward played bad. Not on a day that Cam Ward played bad. All right, still waiting on, he finished with. We don't know if he's finished yet. Also, bowl game stats count, right? Like, all of these marks that he broke from Ryan Nassib's 2012 season, that was a 13-game season. If McCord plays in the bowl game, we might be talking about, is Fran on? What was happening there? What do we got going on here? No Fran? No Fran? Not yet. I saw somebody peeking through the window. I didn't see who it was. They vanished. Fran will be on shortly. I got to imagine that do you think he'll be just like showering during his press conference today? I think at this point, Fran's on? All right, here's Fran. Fran Brown, post-game press conference. Let's go. Fran.
Really proud that I had the opportunity to go against them. It means a lot to myself and to my family.
Question will start with Mark in front. I go to Chris right next to him.
Coach, congratulations.
I appreciate it. You also.
Thank you. I don't know what I did, but thank you. You're down 21-0, and Peña's touchdown is called back. Can you talk about the mood of the team then and what the comeback showed about the character of your team?
I feel like the mood of the team was really on me. I think that's where coaching comes in play. Me making sure that our connection is together, us being detailed, accountable, relentless, and tough. And I just talked to him about, accountability. Touchdown was called back because someone wasn't online. So therefore it's called back. So that's us. On the defensive side of the ball, we went out there and shot ourselves in the foot, and then we gave them 21 points. So it was more so the things that we were doing. I thought there were a lot of self-inflicted wounds. So once we got through with getting that out and got to play football, there's only so much that you'll be able to stop offense like that because they're good in all areas on the football field. So we were able to take some possession from those guys, give them to punt the ball a few times, and I think that helped us out.
Fran, just what was your message sort of to the team in the locker room afterwards?
Afterwards, what? Like, what you mean by that? Like after the game?
Yeah,
celebrate.
Yeah.
Let's lock in. We got to get ready. We got to get ready to be tomorrow at the team meeting and things of that nature. And let's just stay focused and let's continue to be better men. And make sure that we keep getting closer with our faith and make sure that we lock in academically because this is the end of the semester. So the academics and all those things are important. And I told them to go party tonight, but make sure they take care of each other. And any commits that are on campus that are around here partying, make sure that they act the right way and do the right things. So that way we continue to have a clean campus. I think this is a beautiful campus. It's beautiful here. It'll be a little bit of snow on the ground tomorrow, and it's amazing to be able to see snow with the Christmas lights and things of that nature. So I just want them to have fun, enjoy college with a winning team.
And what was your first field swarming experience like? Where did you get caught? And what was
I was just in the middle talking to the people. That wasn't my first experience. I'm a winner. So, I've won before a lot of other times. But for here, it felt good. It felt good to be able to be standing with my son and just encouraging him and letting him know this is going to be you one day. This is what you'll do. Don't forget, remember this moment. This moment, you had to bottle it up because this will happen again in a few years when I come to recruit you, and this will happen with you. And then I was just happy for those seniors. I was excited for the band. That's why I wanted to make sure I made my way down there to sing the alma mater. It's important that you do that, show the support to our cheerleaders, our fans, alumni, staff. Just everybody. Everyone should be excited about getting a win like this. So it was a big deal.
Well, all the way back to Jesse and then Mario next.
Coach in the back here, just what you can say about Jackson Meeks' performance of following every time you guys needed a big play when things were close in the second half, that he was able to provide that for you guys in the passing game.
He a dog. He's a dog. I mean, he's tough. He's a good player. He's intelligent. His mom did an amazing job of just raising him. So he has all the intangibles that it takes to not only do well in the college football game in a setting like that, but also on the next level. I'm excited to watch him in a bowl game and then his future in the NFL.
All right. 367 days ago, you were hired here, and you had a vision of what Syracuse football could be. Has this lived up to your vision?
No, not at all. Wanted to win a national championship. Wanted to go to the conference championship. Those two things didn't happen, but I guess it's progress. But, I wanted to go to a national championship. There was nothing else on my mind except for trying to repeat what happened in 1959 or at least 1987. Like, those two things were important to me, and we fell short of that. But we're growing, so we just got to keep pushing. But I will never be satisfied with second place or third place. That's like loser's mentality. But I'm happy for our players that our seniors got to raise the standard of what it takes to be a Syracuse football player.
Yeah, thank Christian. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, you too, fam.
Appreciate it. So just looking at the season, the resolve of the team, not only in this game down 21-0, but all season long, win against 3 ranked teams this season. Just what you could say about how this team, offense, defense, and special teams, has never given up in this 9-3 record.
I think we play well together. I think we're tough. The way we practice helps a lot. A lot of that goes to me having the opportunity to work at Georgia. Kirby Smart, getting able to see those guys and the way we practiced there for 2.5 years changed my outlook on football, and it helped a lot. And I was able to bring a lot of those same tools here, being able to use that, and the kids bought in right away. So that meant a lot. And we beat 3 ranked teams, but they never rank us. So wherever they just rank, where they rank. So we should be 6th then if they were 6th. So I don't know how the rankings go, but we got to be somewhere. You know how that goes. I'm just messing them around, so don't be upset. But I don't really care about, like, the rankings and things like that. I do really care about us just being able to maximize who we are as individuals on and off the football field, and just being able to do that. You know how it is, just getting them closer in certain areas of their lives that they'll need for when it's time for them to be the men of the household. I want them to be able to run that household the right way and not have a dysfunctional household, So, like, that's what's really important to me, the man more than the football player and all those things like that. And I think they've done a good job.
Christian and Brian.
How much did that scoop and score from Devin Grant summarize just the impact and play that he has had on this program since transferring in?
He's a good player. He makes a lot of good plays. That's what he does. He's big play dev. Makes a lot of good plays. Sorry, I keep saying he makes a lot of good plays, and he just got to continue to get better. Devin Grant's playing on a torn MCL. So he's been playing on a torn MCL for about 4 weeks now. He's just that tough. He won't get surgery. Told him we forced him into getting it afterwards. He's just a different kid. He works extremely hard, and I coach him extremely hard. Coach Schaaf does an amazing job the way we coach him, and we allow him to know, like, MCL torn, that doesn't matter. Not giving you no breaks. We're not doing different things with it. Make sure he works. So that kid is really, really tough, mentally and physically, and I'm excited that he's coming back to college next year and be playing here with us again.
Go to Brian, the second row on far side.
Fran, when you flew to meet with Kyle McCord last year, you were the first person there, and I know you guys have had a lot of conversations about life, but when you talk football, is this what you talked about, that this is what he could do, put together one of the best single seasons that Syracuse football has ever seen? And if so, how could he get there? How did you convince him to do it?
I don't think I convinced him. I think Kyle's more of a man of feeling, and he took a leap of faith, trusting in me. He understood that I had good faith. And I just told him, like, I needed him, to be honest. I thought Kyle was the best quarterback in the country at the time, and right now, proving that he is the best quarterback in the country. And I said, Kyle, like, I need you, and you need somebody that completely believe in you. I think our offensive coordinator is really good, and our quarterback coach is really good, and I need you to help my career. Said you could come here and spark everything going for Syracuse, and then you come to Syracuse, and with all due respect to our players and all the people we have here that are playing ball, but you'll come and show that, like, okay, y'all said this at Ohio State, and now look what I'm doing at Syracuse. So now when you look what Kyle McCord came and done here at Syracuse compared to what he done at Ohio State, because that kind of happens all the time, but he has us with a 9-3 record right now. And you go to 2 of those games on 4th and 1 and 4th and 9, he wasn't on the football field. But if the ball was on the opposite side of the ball, right now we'd be like in here cheering that we're going to the conference championship game. So, he's an amazing kid. He will forever have a place in my heart. Will forever just be a part of my family. That's my guy, man. I love that kid a lot. I'm very thankful for him. I'm proud of him and his family, and I'm thankful that they trusted in me and my family. And that's my boy, yo. Like, he's a good dude, though. Like, he's a good dude. Like, I know what they mean when they say, hey, I will let him date my daughter. I always hear that bull crap. Like, hell no. Like, I wouldn't let him date my daughter either. But I'm just saying, he's one of those guys that people will say, I let that guy date my daughter. He's a really class act kid.
Terry Collins, It's All About Sports. Congratulations, Coach, on your big win today.
Appreciate it, Terry.
Talk to me about what was the conversation going into that last drive to your offense about closing out the game so that you didn't even have to put your defense back on the field to close it out.
Just 2 first downs, and that the offensive line, we coming at y'all. We're gonna jump on you guys back. Y'all help us do it. It's about the O-line being able to do it. And I always tell the coach at the end of the game, number one is the toughest player on our football team. Give him the ball. Just put the ball in LaQuint Allen's hand, and LaQuint will make sure you get paid. So, we just made sure we put the ball in LaQuint's hands and got him to go. And as you guys keep talking to him, get him to stay in college another year. But we're very thankful about LaQuint. He's an amazing kid.
We'll go to the Daily Orange in front and then back here to Citrus TV.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win.
Appreciate it.
How do you think Devin Grant's fumble and scoop and score kind of changed the momentum and kind of pushed you guys to it?
He just said that. He just asked the same question. I mean, it helped a lot. We got a touchdown. We was about to tie it up, and we get a touchdown. We go back up. So, I mean, it helped a whole lot. It helped a lot too, right? But it was a good deal. I was very thankful that he done that. I mean, it's a good play. We just fumbled, and he come back, get a fumble, and we score on ours. So that's the monotony of football, and being able to do that and being able to score in a time like that, in a setting like this, it's a big deal for a kid like that, and I'm very thankful for him for being able to do that.
Yeah, and then making that stop on third down, kind of forcing the field goal toward the end. How did that kind of summarize the defense's kind of progression?
Just Coach E, just constantly moving and doing different things. I told Coach E, all we got to do is be able to have one more point than him at the end, be able to stop him. If you can stop him here, we'll win the game because we'll go down. And he's done a good job. We got a lot of stops in there. Was able to do it, and really proud of him and just what he was able to do. But that was Coach E's play calling down there to get them to force that field goal.
We'll go to Citrus and back and then WAR right here.
Coach, congrats on the win. Before the game, you had a bunch of recruits on the sideline. What does a win like this tell them and everyone who's going to be entering the portal in the next week about what Syracuse football can be?
I don't know. I mean, you know what it is. We can recruit, so that's easy. I mean, it's very thankful. I mean, you win, more kids want to come play here. You beat one of the better teams in the country because more kids want to play here. But, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it tells them that we're for real, This is my first year having the opportunity of doing this. So the weight room will play a part. We'll get bigger. We're recruiting bigger kids. Our team will be bigger. So, I mean, if you want to come and win a national championship, because that's all I think about is being able to do that, then you should come here because it's coming. Time is coming real, real soon. But that whole time of November, where the homie at that was said we don't win in November? What's up now? But just making sure that, November is the time that we win. That means a lot, What's our record in November again, Gomez? 4-1. Yeah, that's right. To make sure, talking about we won't win in November. But 4-1 is pretty cool. It's okay. But 4-1 is 80%, right? Yeah, we got to be a little better than that, but it's a good deal. Who's next? Because I want to hang with my daughter, man.
Last two for Coach. We got players here. We're going to go to Maddie and then finish with Ashley in the back.
Coach, you talked to us on Monday about how Camden's going to show up today.
Yep.
To have this win in front of your friends, your family, people that have seen you get to this point through your journey, what does it mean to have this huge win in front of your family and friends from where you grew up?
It means a lot. Like, it means everything. As I always tell y'all, my wife and kids, God, but then that city I'm from, it just puts something in me, like something different. It means more. Like everything about it, when they talk about toughness and things of that nature. My little league coach, you get to be here, Coach Muhammad and all those dudes. I was just talking to them all week, and I'm a Simba for life. That's what I played for in little league. So then having the opportunity of seeing them and getting to see them before the game and knowing they're here and just knowing how they had us work. Like I'm the way I am now because of my little league football team. And that's never left me. I lost one game in little league, and that's why I just know about winning. That's why I still cry when I lose. As a grown man, we lose, I cry. As you go, I told you I didn't get washed one day. I made a big deal out of it. I'm getting washed tonight, though. But Camden means everything, man. We're a prideful city, and it's just I'm happy that we have an opportunity of being where we are right now. I'm an educated black man, head coach at Syracuse University. I'm from that city where there's a lot of bad publicity, and I get an opportunity of doing something positive and being able to show that light, so that way all those young dudes in school, all the young kids, the young woman can understand and know that you could go be whatever it is you want to be in life. So, man, that city mean everything to me. You know, without Camden, I'm not sitting here right now. So I'm very thankful for them and everybody that came down. And I love them, and I'm very thankful for them.
Ashley, last question.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
We've heard so much about your motivational tactics this year for the team. Was there anything extra that you did this week to kind of motivate the guys throughout the week?
No, we was just doubted. You know, it was just like, okay, y'all doubting us, we cool with that. They talked about Miami coming here and how great they were and all. And you know, I was like the Miami kids or this. And like, I respect Overtown because I go down there. I got friends in Overtown. Like, I hung in the Pork and Bean Project, so like, I'm in the mix on all those things like that. But you know, we go to Miami for vacation. You know, they don't come to Syracuse to vacation. You ride around to it's like we don't come here to vacation. You don't go to Camden to vacation. So it's like don't try and test who we are. You know, I think early in the year somebody talked about Northeast tough and, you know, what that meant and what that was about. So I just felt like we was just tested again, you know, about like how tough we were and our will. And I think that the 21-0 showed that, you know, we won't quit and we'll continue to push. And it really goes back to like Syracuse football. Let's go back to the history of getting able to bring that back. You know, Jim Brown, Floyd Little, Ernie Davis, all those guys, Larry Zonka, you know, Tom Coughlin, so many men that play here that are great men that went off in the world, done the right thing. Dwight Freeney, Marvin Harrison, Keith Bullock, and the list goes on and on and on and on, football-wise. Then we look at John Lally, who's a businessman, Cliff Ensley, who's a businessman. There's so many businessmen that come here that play football, that move on in the world and are doing great things. So, you know, I just kind of felt like we were disrespected when there's a lot of great things that happen here and that come from up here. Donovan Darius, who was a kid in Camden, New Jersey, just like me, came here, was educated, played in the NFL 13 years. So I'm just, I'm happy that we done this. And honestly, y'all asked me too many questions. I don't even know how to answer no more. I'm trying to go party with our team and all these recruits. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe, all right?
Thanks, Coach. Players up here in a second.
That draws the crowd. Look at these numbers right now on Cuse Sports Talk. Hang on, I got to check out Kyle McCord's Twitter. I've heard he's being a little sassy on the Twitter. He'll be live shortly here. We'll get you the players post game press conference coming up here in just a little bit. Usually Kyle kind of leads the way on that. Yes, 8 minutes ago on Twitter, Kyle McCord, you're welcome at Clemson FB. He did thank you God before that. You think this guy's having a good time? You know, he's friends with the guys at Ohio State, but you saw what happened to Ohio State today, right? Yeah, they scored 10. All right, let's get back to the podium. Kyle McCord, Devin Grant, Jackson Meeks, and others up there right now.
We all gelled pretty good, came brothers. So I knew from the beginning of the season, I just wanted to play for my brothers, you know, go out and fight with my brothers. So when I figured out I had the injury, it was just like, okay, like, can I play through it? Is it something I need to fix now? And once they said, no, you can play through it, take it week by week and stuff, it was just like, okay, as long as I can be out there for my brothers and whatever I can do for my brothers to win, that's all it is. Nothing is bigger than the S, Coach says. So it's like anything I can do for my brothers. And the play, it was just, you do it in practice, you do it in a game. We work on ball. The ball's the program. You know, punched at the ball. Well, I was grateful for it to come out and then, you know, fortunate to take it to the house. So it's a blessing, honestly.
As a transfer, how important is it for us to prove, regardless of if you started here or if you are here now, to put Syracuse back on the map?
Honestly, it means everything. You know, it's been a while since Cuse has been on a winning thing. No, not to try to talk down on my brother that's been here, but it's been a while. So to bring back the winning culture of Cuse and show everybody that Cuse is back, baby, and that this is just the beginning. It just starts here. This is just the first season. So it's honestly, like I said, a blessing.
Thanks.
Kyle, Jackson just made a bunch of big boy plays on the Miami DBs all day. At what point did you sort of realize he was capable of being that type of player?
Probably spring ball. I mean, he, after every single drive, every single, little series we do in practice, he'll come to me with something saying, he's open and, just give him a chance. And then I think, you saw that on full display today. I think he's probably the most competitive player I've ever played with. He loves to compete. And when they left him one-on-one, I was going to take that shot every single time. I think he gets a lot of great reps against our DBs in practice. And then just came out and balled out today, as he's been doing the entire year.
You talked earlier last week about just how much the opportunity to play wide receiver here has meant to you. I have to ask, when you were at Georgia, were you like, I should be playing over these guys, or are they so good that you sort of got it?
I mean, honestly, of course, I felt like I should have been playing. But you see what they're doing in the league now, like Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers, who else? Kamari Lassiter, everybody I play with, they're great players. And honestly, patience is something that I learned at the University of Georgia. And patience is a big thing when it comes to football. Because as a high schooler, you're the man of your high school team. You think you should come in and be that man on the college team. But no, everybody's that man in college. Everybody was that man at their high school. And honestly, man, I'm just blessed to be able to come and play with Kyle, come and play with Devin, come and play with Quint, man, and just create these bonds that I know is going to last a lifetime. And honestly, I'm just happy I was able to go out there and just, like Dev said, win for my team.
Grant, two-part question. Are you surprised they kicked that field goal on their Miami's last possession? And I noticed you right after the game when everybody's jumping on the field, you ran into a corner of the field. It looked like your family. Can you explain why was that moment so special for you? Who was there to share that moment with you?
There was my mom, my grandmother, my dad, my aunt. Just a whole bunch. I have a big support system, and that's where I got to give credit to, because without them, man, football, I don't know, because they're there for the ups, they're there for the downs. So this big moment here, I just want to go celebrate with them. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for supporting me. Because without y'all, I don't know if I would have the same push that I do. There's some games or some days it's like, oh man, but I go back to them and think, I still got them. I still got my brothers too. It's just a happy moment.
Mario and Quint, coach said fourth quarter, crunch time's the Quint time. What's it mean to have that trust from Coach Brown, and what's a win like this mean to you?
Just going out there with my guys, like we doing practice, Bloody Orange Tuesdays. Our last drive was kind of like that day on Tuesdays for practice every day. Just pounding every time, and when you get the ball, just hitting up with defenders and driving for 5 yards, 6 yards, and wearing them out. I think, and just wanting more. At the end of the day, I think just wanting more.
Kyle, the team has 9 wins. You had a lot of individual records this season, but when you look back on it, I know the game's just over, but when you look back on it, what do you want your influence on Syracuse football to be? When people think of you, what do you want people to think about?
I just want to be the one who helped bring it back to what it once was, and I think that's a testament to this team. Getting 9 wins this year, I couldn't have done it. With obviously the O-line, the receivers, running backs, all that. And then I think the defense stepped up and played huge today. And I think that was everyone's goal. Obviously wish, we could have a few of those games back and you have a chance to play in the postseason. But at the end of the day, I think, this win just kind of shows that Syracuse is for real. And so to be a part of that team that turned things around and, got things going in the right direction, I think that's, that's going to last forever.
When Fran was in your living room last year, when Fran was in your living room, right there, first guy in, when the portal opened, you guys talked a lot about life, but you had to talk some football, right? Mm-hmm. And did you envision that this could be what you could do here at Syracuse?
It's exactly what he said I would do. And I think that, every coach is going to tell you that. But I think one thing about Fran is he's genuine. And if he says something, he's going to, do everything he can to prove that, his word is true. And I just, I look back on it, and I think everything that he said came true. And, I know I said this last week, but, it's definitely the best decision of my life to come here.
Devin, when the team goes down big like that in the first half, what is the message from the coaches and the leaders on the defensive side to get the unit right back on track?
Just go back to what we know. Go back to the same skills and stuff that we're taught in practice. We know what type of defense we could be, and it was just, let's lock in, really. It was just, come on, let's play together. Let's calm it down, giving up 21 points is, that's like, wow. So when we really sat down and saw the doctor at halftime and stuff, it was like, okay, we got to lock in, get the ball back to Kyle and let him do what he does best.
Kyle, I'm sure that you're a lot more focused with what's going on with Syracuse, but does it give you any extra satisfaction? You already know what I'm going to say. Does it give you any extra satisfaction knowing that the same day you outdueled Cam Ward beat Miami with this team, that Ohio State scored 10 points and lost to Michigan?
Everything comes full circle.
Back row, Jesse. LeQuint, obviously 2 big runs for you, a couple hurdles. Just how much did that inject some juice into this team, and how often do you practice hurdling people in practice?
I don't think I ever hurdle anyone in practice. I think probably a couple times, but not that I remember though. But it was just the instincts, and it just means a lot, balling out here with my brothers. And with the dome, so when I came out, it was just electric. And why not, make big plays, for my teammates and fans, so, we can get that momentum back. Why not?
Kyle, when you look back on this season, obviously there's been some highs, some lows. Probably haven't had much time to reflect on it yet, but if you have, is there a favorite moment of yours or a moment where you knew what this team could be potential-wise?
I think potential-wise, after that Georgia Tech game, I had a pretty good understanding that we were going to be able to compete with everybody we played. And then I think my favorite moment is today, without a doubt. I think, being down 21-0, you're back against the wall, and we just kept swinging and fighting. Then to get a top 10 win at home in the season finale, I think is just the cherry on top of it all.
Trevor in the second row, then Steven back.
Jackson, for a lot of the season, the offense has been by committee every week. The wide receiver room actually has been by committee every week. What does it mean to you for this to be like your week, your big week? You know what I'm saying? To have a big game today, have the game that you had.
I'm just able to go out there and do my job, man. Coach Ross always preaches, the game is always on us. The game is always on the receivers. When it comes down to it, we got to make the plays. And last week it was Gil. This week is me. The week before, I think it was Treb and OG. Like, you see how it just rotates. So as long as, we got Kyle and we got the O-line protecting, I feel like it's no team that we couldn't beat. So, like I said, just being able to go out there and just giving it up to God, honestly.
LeQuint, this question's for you. You've obviously been here a few years now. Fran Brown comes in and he talks about these, championship dreams that he has. Did you buy into that right away? Do you feel like he's going to lead this program to a championship? And I guess the second part of that question is, what does today's win mean to that vision and what he's building and kind of putting a stamp here on year one?
For sure. It means a lot, and not just talk about it, but be about it, walk about it. And, when your chance come, you want to take advantage of that chance. And I think it comes down to just having coaches back, keeping his word and things like that. So why not go out there and perform for him? And, we wouldn't be able to do it if we wasn't together as a unit. And I think that goes back to us working out in the cold and, in the snow when nobody really knew what we were doing and things like that. And mat drills, too.
Last two field players, we'll start with Aiden in front and then finish with Chris in front.
Yeah, Kyle, knowing you're going into this game against another top passer in Cam Ward, and then you guys go down 21-0, how did that kind of motivate you and the rest of the offense to kind of get going and then fall on the right side of the shootout?
Yeah, I think that on offense, we knew that we were going to have to start putting some points up to help our defense out. And I knew it was a matter of time until they started getting stops. And I think we did a really good job of that. And I said to LeQuint when we were down 21, I was like, we score, get a stop, score again, down 7 at halftime, and then we get the ball back first and be able to tie it up. And that's exactly what happened. Coming in, we knew we were going to score points. They're a really good offense, really good quarterback. But I had a lot of confidence in us. And I knew that, we could go toe-to-toe with them. And then our defense was going to come up and make a big play.
Last question to Chris.
Jackson, goofy question, especially coming from me. But the touchdown celebration. Yeah. What is that?
You gotta be a certified striker. Yeah. Real physical football team. That's all it is, man. You just Coach always preaches physicality. So, Coach Nick Williams and Coach Fidel, and me, we all came up with the certified striker. So, you just got to go out there and strike.
Let's just certified striker.
Certified striker. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, there we are. Kyle McCord, Devin Grant, Jackson Meeks, the certified striker, and LeQuint Allen, their post-game press conference wrapping up now after a lot from Fran Brown as well, as we're here on our Burdick post-game coverage of Syracuse football's regular season finale. In case you missed it, Syracuse beat Miami today 42-38 in just a wild game. 21-0 hole early. Should have been tied at 7. 21-0 hole early. Dug out of it. Tied it up just after the start of the second half. Back and forth. Took the lead and held on the last drive. 3 first downs led by LeQuint Allen to seal it up. A few more minutes left with you here. Our DWITom.com hotline is open at 315-437-7644. Sebastian in Syracuse has been waiting patiently. Hey, Sebastian. What's going on? Welcome in, Sebastian.
Team's on fire. Twitter's going crazy. Social media's going crazy before the season. No one knows what to expect. We finished 9-3 in the regular season. How does this go forward with recruiting, transfer portal, and the team moving forward?
Yeah, I'd say it's going to be huge. I'm really intrigued here, Sebastian, because there was apparently a bunch of pretty decent potential recruits here today. I don't know how many for this class, next class, whatever. Signing day for the class of 2025 is Wednesday. And I don't mean some Wednesday in the future. I mean next, Wednesday. This upcoming Wednesday, December the 4th, whatever Wednesday is, December the 4th. So, did anybody, were there any big-time recruits that were literally here today that had their decision made today that will be playing football for Syracuse next year? My guess is there's going to be at least one. So it's I'm excited for it, and then we'll see in the portal how they handle it, Sebastian. But yeah, today is going to do nothing but good things on that front.
Do you think McCord's playing the last game, the bowl game?
We'll see. I think it depends who the matchup is against. I think he wants to, and we'll see how it all ends up. I would like to see him play one more game. I think he wants to play one more game. That said, if he doesn't, if this is the way he goes out, what better way could it have been?
Well, I look forward to watching the next level.
All right, there we are. Thank you, Sebastian. And yeah, will McCord? I mean, that's the biggest question here as far as the bowl game. If McCord plays the bowl game, all right, you're showing up for battle. You're showing up to win. If he doesn't, and Arande opts out, and I don't know who else would opt out. The opt-outs have gotten crazy. Not everyone's a first-round draft pick here. Kyle wants to play the game. He told me that. He said, I want to play the game. But, and there's always a but, right? There's always other stuff that goes into it where you've got to listen to your agents, advisors, Fran Brown, all these people. There's a lot of different things that go into it. So we'll see. That said, I mean, Coach Prime, Dion, he said it the other day that they all playing Holiday Bowl, Pop-Tarts Bowl. If you get me Kyle McCord versus Shadur Sanders with 3 giant Pop-Tart mascots standing there, yes, please. Yes, please. Let's do that. Let's do that. Is that, can we do that? That sounds like fun. All right, let's get another call in here. Again, phone lines open, 315-437-7644. We'll hang out for a few more minutes tonight. We got Roger in Geneva with us. Hey, Roger.
We did it, man. What a game.
Yeah.
Holy Moses. I mean, I went to Syracuse University, freshman in 1979. When the Dome first opened. My mom went to Syracuse. I've got cousins who went to Syracuse, and I'm just calling in to say, wow. Wow.
It was a hell of a game today, was it not, Roger? It's up there.
I'm telling you, man. Donnie McPherson, McNabb, all those years. This is, and you guys have been talking about recruiting. I hope any of these young guys that want to come to Syracuse, man, come to Syracuse because it's a great program. So that's all I want to say.
All right, Roger. Thank you. There's Roger in Geneva having a good time, as one would after a game like this here today. All right, who do we got calling in now? We got Al in Kentucky up next. Hey, Al.
Yeah, two things kind of interesting. One, do you think Kyle got Brian Day fired today? And two, how do you think the Virginia game in Blacksburg is working out for the ACC Network Game of the Week?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. I'll say this, like Syracuse-Miami, this television slot was way, way higher on the pecking order, ESPN 330, than whatever's going on in Blacksburg right now. You know what? What was McCord's answer today? He was asked about, this, Ohio State losing today. He said it simply. It all comes full circle. Like, he's not going to gloat. He's friends with the players there. Like, he was teammates with them. He's not going to rub it in. He's feeling really good about that. He is reveling in that tonight. And as he should, because they said they didn't believe in him, and they brought in a new guy, and guess what? The same exact thing happened to him, but he went somewhere else and did something that very few have. So I'd imagine Kyle McCord is going to have a very, very good time tonight. All right, Al, thank you for the call. There's Al in Kentucky. But, yeah, did Ryan, it'd be wild. Like, Ohio State's still going to make the playoff, right? Like, they're still going to make the playoff. It's possible. Ohio State, they're 10-2 right now. They missed the Big Ten championship game. All right, let's say they make the playoff, beat somebody, lose to somebody good. Like, their losses could be to their biggest rival, the number 1 team in the country, and, like, the number 3 team in the country. And Ohio State's like, yeah, this guy stinks. And that's the way it goes at Ohio State. But, yeah, all I know is Ohio State couldn't, like, throw the football down the field today, and Kyle McCord threw for 380. Yeah. I'd say Devin in the chat. That actually, I think Chris Carlson broke that down the other day. Syracuse just switching the Stanford game wouldn't have been enough. Apparently switching even if Syracuse switched the Stanford and the BC games, apparently they still would have been behind Clemson in the tiebreaker, whatever the hell the tiebreakers are. So Syracuse basically, apparently the way the math worked out, would have had to win the Pitt game no matter what. They could have dumped one of the other games. They would have had to win the Pitt game to make it to the ACC title game. So, yeah, there's a lot of what-ifs with those two games, and still feel Syracuse should have won those two games. But even if they had won those two games, now, if you'd won those two games, you're 11-1, and we're talking about a playoff team. But that's, neither here nor there. We'll take 9-3. We're not complaining about this one. We're not complaining about this one, are we? No. 9-3, a legit. This is the most fun Syracuse football season to watch in a long, long time. 2018 was great as well, but man, this was a really, really fun Syracuse football season to watch. Really fun football season to watch. 315-437-7644 for ESPN 44 if you'd like to get some last thoughts in here today. And our DWITom.com hotline. Looks like we got one coming in before we wrap things up for the evening. And full coverage again on Monday. Orange Nation will be rocking at noon. Newhouse Afternoon will be with you at 2. Cody at 3. I'll be with you at 4. So we'll have full coverage coming up on Monday. Do not believe there will be a Monday or Fran Brown press conference this week. Not normally what happens after the season. Not sure if there'll be like a Wednesday signing day one, but keep apprised of that. If there is, we'll make sure that we bring you that during the course of the week, as we know you all love some Fran Brown as we get to it. All right, who do we got next? We got Scooter on the line now. All right, Scoot, what's going on?
Well, I told you, as long as you can throw it vertically, you got a puncher's chance.
They did it today. That's for darn sure.
And basically, the game went the way I thought it was going to go. I mean, you had Paulie earlier in the week thought this was going to be a mid-20s game, and I thought that'd be by halftime, and it almost did. But the bottom line is, I haven't heard you guys talk too much about or have you talked about I would thought it should be a controversy thing. Is you got a 4th and 10, you haven't stopped Syracuse all night, basically. Syracuse stopped themselves. You're going for the field goal, 4th and 10.
Yeah, I thought that was quite peculiar, Scooter, when it happened.
I mean, the bottom line is you still need a touchdown to win the game.
Right.
I mean, it's not like, okay, you're down 6. Maybe you kick the field goal, get the ball, worst comes to worst. Unless you're a Chicago Bears coach, you can maybe shot for a field goal that's sent to overtime, but you still need it. But once again, I talked about it, and it worked on against. I mean, I thought maybe Syracuse might do it, and Trump beat Miami of all teams. The false sense of security. That defense is going to get the ball back. What?
Yeah.
I mean, there's what part of that game that you thought that Miami could stop Syracuse, and vice versa? I figure it's going to be who's ever got the ball last. And to me, I mean, this is the same person that didn't take the knee against Georgia Tech last year. Remember that fiasco?
Yeah, Mario Cristobal has not been exactly known as a clock management, game management savant over his time as a head coach.
But once again, McCord is going to lead the nation in passing unless somebody underneath him had a super 500-yard game or 600 and not going to get a whiff. I don't know the Davey O'Brien Award or the Heisman, but how many times you have a quarterback that leads the nation in passing and is a pure passer, doesn't even get a whiff? And this is what I think. I saw that after Ohio, that Syracuse is going to allow him to do what he could do. And once I know that they're going to allow him to do it, I said Syracuse is going to be in every ball game. And it's going to be both ways. I thought the defense against Connecticut, there was receivers open all day. It's just the Connecticut couldn't hit him. I knew that Miami's going to hit him, and it was a great game. I mean, if you're not rooting for Syracuse and just watching the game, that's a popcorn game right here.
Oh,
that was a great game.
Outstanding. I'd imagine like a lot of people probably got introduced to this version of Syracuse football today because it was the best game in the 3:30 time slot today.
Exactly, but to me, I don't know if it's I always wondered when a game like this goes, what is Miami talk shows talking about? Because I mean, 4th and 10. They're a passing team. I can understand if it's a running team, maybe, but they've been, they went up and down on Syracuse too. And to me, not to kick the field goal. Thank you very much, Miami. Right?
Yeah. Like I know 4th and 10 is not a great shot there, but you're right. Like exactly the risk happened. You never got the ball back again against a team that you barely slowed down since the first quarter.
Yeah, and I just thought maybe they're going onside kick because this is, just like I said about Syracuse, you can't play field position in Miami. Remember, I think the only punt of the game, they punted at about the 4-yard line.
Yep.
And within 2 plays, they're at midfield. And to me, it didn't have to go for 4th down that many times and see if they were or weren't. But that's what the mentality you got going in these games is that you're going to have to outscore them, and they did. And it was a great game, 9 wins, and the only thing is, I guess Clemson's going to send from Clemson probably a Christmas card to Syracuse, right?
Yeah. As much as Fran is sending champagne to Columbus, Dabo better send something up this way.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe some crab cakes from South Carolina. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you send. I don't know what you send from Clemson, but whatever they got, he better send it this way.
Anyway, it was a great game. Like I said, as long as you got a good offense, you always have a puncher's chance, and today was that puncher's chance.
Absolutely, Scooter. Thanks as always, Scoot.
Thanks.
Just a fantastic game today. Fantastic game today. All right, lines are stacking up here. 315-437-7644. Mike in Atlanta. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, this is Mike born in Syracuse, New York, down here in Atlanta for the last 2 years, and the key is Mr. Brown. I'll tell you, his ability to recruit not only New Jersey, where he's from, but down here, the respect, when I talk to the football people down here, the respect that they have for that man, he's going to bring so many recruits out of this here. We're not going to have to worry about paying big bucks because he's going to bring in the young kids. And Meeks is also a Pied Piper for that too. But Brown is the key. He's open. He's straight. These kids relate to him. That's key. I used to be a playground director at McBride Park, right below the Archbold Stadium when I was in college. Mm-hmm. And those kids related. Dave Bing would bring recruits down. He brought Sam Lacey in there, trying to get him to come into Syracuse. But that's the kind of rapport that Brown creates. I mean, some people might be upset because he's, not the straight dude, but hey, when you see his little boy there coming out in the field, I'll tell you, it put tears in my eyes because that's what sports should be all about.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Fran is nothing so far, if not legit and forthright and telling you as it is. And he's 41 years old, 42, I think, in January is his birthday, somewhere around there. He clearly relates to the 16, 17, 18 to 20, 21, 22-year-olds in a way that it's hard to do when you're not of that age group. And the ones that can figure it out have great success in putting things like that together. All right, who do we got next? We got Jason in Maryland. Hey, Jason.
What's good, Brian? Man, what a special win today. What a special day. It's funny because I tweeted you after you said something about the 98 Tennessee game.
Yep.
It just had the same feel to it. But, man, I just want to say this. This win was for all those players that played through the Greg Robinson era, the down eras of Babers and, Schaefer and all that stuff. Like, it's for all those people and all us fans that never gave up on them, always believed in them. It's just such a great day. And, man, Fran in his first year is he's just blowing up, man. I mean, it's just an unbelievable job by an unbelievable coach when it comes to recruiting and also, quiet as kept. He did a pretty damn good job in-game coaching this year. And what was our biggest issue with Dino? He was terrible in games.
Yeah.
We won a lot of close games this year. And, man, I am just so excited for the future of this program. Syracuse might be going back to a football school, Brian. Who knows? But, yeah, man, it was a great win today. The biggest thing for me was the way they put the hammer down at the end of the game with LeQuint. Didn't have a great day running the ball, but when they had to have it, that offensive line, LeQuint, they put the hammer down, got it done, and happy for Kyle McCord, man. Like he said, things come full circle, and, man, what a win, and I'm happy. And hopefully we'll see one more game from him, but if not, he left an indelible impression on Syracuse football, man. What a year.
That's a fact. Like, if today was Kyle's bowl game, well, you know what? No complaints. No complaints. An outstanding season for Kyle. All right, Jason, thanks for the call here. And LeQuint Allen, you heard Fran postgame. He's like, basically, I don't know how much he interferes in offensive play calling, and I think Jeff Nixon has done a way above average job. Some head-scratching calls this year, but not enough. It's few enough that they stand out. It's like, that was I think he's done a fantastic job game planning, play calling. To Jason's point, in-game adjustments, especially on offense this year, we've seen some great in-game adjustments. Defense today, they were getting strafed early in-game adjustments. And yeah, Kyle McCord, everything comes full circle. Boy, howdy did it today for him. All right, let's get one more in with Tim in Homer. Hey, Tim.
Hey, how you doing? Great game today. Really excited. Big fan. And, get a little bit ahead coming up this year. Usually every year in the draft, you get one player, maybe two at the most in the NFL. I think it's going to be an exciting year to watch what happens for Syracuse with Meeks, Pena, McCord, Allen, Diggs, possibly, going maybe first, second, third round. It's going to be an exciting year to be a Syracuse fan and watch the men grow into the NFL and hopefully represent Syracuse.
I'll have more reasons to watch the draft this year than to watch my Giants screw it up. There'll be other things to watch out there, Tim. Yeah, I'd say at minimum, Arande, Fadil Diggs, and McCord are getting drafted, and then there's possibly going to be others around that, so depending. And obviously, you go 9-3. The NFL pays a little more attention to you because they think you went 9-3 for a reason. You must have some good players on your team. So, yeah, hopefully this starts stocking the NFL up a little bit with some Cuse guys.
Right, and, the players will look at kids coming up through high school, be looking at Syracuse and want to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Tim. Thanks for the call, Tim. As that's the hope, man. What helps in recruiting? I get NIL. You got to have money. You can't have none. But players, especially in the portal, they don't always go highest bidder. And that's where I think Syracuse needs to, that's going to be hopefully your Fran Brown advantage. That, all right, maybe you don't have the most, but if you're offering something reasonable, that the pull of Fran becomes something that you can get these guys. Hopefully today. Signing day is Wednesday for the class of 2025, of which Syracuse already has 33 verbals. They got a verbal this morning, apparently, from a class of 2027 quarterback, a 15-year-old. We'll set that aside for now. Hopefully today there were some players there that watched that field storming beat Miami, that today that has made their decision, that on Wednesday they'll say to the world, we want to play for Syracuse football next year. Just not conversations we've been having after games like that. All right, let's get one more in. I keep saying let's get one more in. We're going to Sam, who's not in Pittsburgh because he was at the Dome today watching the game in the marching band for sure. Hey, Sam.
Yes, sir. You know it. I was on the 50 with my bright orange shoes and my big belly.
There you go. What better place to be?
What a classic. I was at the 92 loss with Gedney falling a yard short of the goal line, and today was sweet redemption. Just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it had a lot of the hype, not quite of the 92 game going in, but it had a lot of hype, and man, it was fun. It was good to get a close one over these guys for a change.
Yeah, it was great, and I know an earlier caller had a question about that Pittsburgh game. I think I can answer that for him. Pittsburgh has had an excellent pass defense, and they subsequently had a few injuries. Actually, one of them in the Syracuse game, and that's where they crossed up McCord. Plus, it was a very cold night. Not to say he can't play in the cold, but obviously not what he's used to. So that's all that happened there. But I'll tell you what, the future is so bright for this program. I couldn't be more happy about Fran Brown. I got to admit, I got a big man crush on that guy. He's awesome.
I think everyone in the Cuse does at this point. Sam, you're going to have to get in line on that one after what he's done in the last year and change.
Absolutely, Brian. Have a wonderful holiday. Great talking to you. We'll see you wherever the bowl gods take us.
Okay, beautiful, Sam. Beautiful. Thank you. That's Sam. Sam in Pittsburgh, who has a kid in the marching band, so he gets up here for the games as well. We've been talking a lot recently to George in Memphis. Let's go down south. Hey, George, what's going on?
Hey, first, congrats to you for picking it. I did not see a pass where they would win. I did think it would be a hell of a game, and it was. I mean, obviously, McCord was fabulous, and the fumble return was a massively big play in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But when I talked to you earlier this week, the one thing that worried me, and it almost played itself out, and I'm glad it didn't, 42-35, they kicked the field goal. And, that's when you got to be able to run the ball and make some first downs. And I did not know that they would be able to do that. And they won the game at the end on the ground, which was really something. And the line deserves a lot of credit, that offensive line, which has been much maligned. They made holes, and the running backs ran hard to the holes. Miami with some undisciplined plays. That's a bitter loss, Brian, for Miami. A bitter loss. And I don't think it's a revenge for the Gedney thing, but it's on par with it in terms of importance. And it's a great win for the community. And, I think this is the first step of many for Coach Brown.
Yeah. Absolutely, George, and that is the hope, right? That is the hope, that when you get a game like this, that it's not just, as the Clemson game turned out to be, like that was a moment in time, right? Not a launching pad. The hope is this is a launching pad, i.e., Nebraska in 84 leading to 87 and beyond. So we'll see where it goes, but man, it was a blast today.
And like we talked about earlier in the week, I mean, that schedule next year is going to be really, really hard. They got to find a way to win 6 or 7 games next year, even with that massively upgraded the schedule and McCord gone. But I think they can do it if they hit the portal.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, George. Bye. George down in Memphis. Good. We're getting calls from all over. Let's get one more in here. We got Josh in Iowa with us. Hey, Josh.
How you doing, guys? I grew up in Cuse, and I just want to say last time I called into a radio show was during our, I guess you'd say during the Marone years, after the Robinson years, when we were finally improving. And Kentucky was going through Joker Phillips, and they were struggling. And I called in to let them know that Joker Phillips was the problem, that you need good coaching in college. And I'll tell you, we finally got good coaching up here with Coach Brown. And I really like the message. And you can tell the team's buying in, and it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. Like right now, vibes are immaculate. Like everything's good. Everyone loves Fran, and I've said this to everyone tonight. Hopefully, this is the jumping off point to something special. Like that's the hope that this is the jumping off point going forward that they can build off of.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate what you do.
All right, Josh, thanks for the call. Man, we're Memphis, Iowa. We're all over the place tonight. We're so all over the place, we should probably wrap up because we've been hanging out for a while. But great crowds on YouTube, on the Twitch. Tonight, we got to get all the rest of our sponsors in. Improving the team from Wadham's Enterprises. What do we look ahead to? I don't know. Supposed to improve on that? Screw that. Celebrate that. A week from tomorrow, by this time, 8 days from now, we'll know the bowl game. So next Sunday is when we learn the bowl game on the 8th. The ESPN does they'll pick the bracket and the whole thing. It'll come out, I don't know, 2, 3, 4-ish in the afternoon. We'll know the bowl game. Come on, Colorado. Let's have ourselves some fun. Hopefully we'll get McCord. Questions to answer. Signing Days Wednesday. We'll have full coverage of that as well. That'll be improving the team from Wadham's Enterprises. Wadham's is improving their team. They have home daily CDLA driving positions available for experienced drivers and also CDLA training at no cost with a job waiting upon completion. Call recruiting today, 800-334-1314. That's 800-1314. All right, that'll call it quits here today. Thanks for hanging out in the chat here for the last, I don't know, we've been hanging out for a while, hour and a half. Thanks to everyone who called in today. Glad you enjoyed Fran and the players post-game. Huge win for the Orange, 42-38 over Miami. A top 10 win and a signature win for Fran Brown. And frankly, one of the best wins ever inside that building. Short list, top 5 best wins ever inside the Dome today for the Orange. That'll do it for us. Again, Monday, normal schedule, Orange Nation at noon, Newhouse afternoon at 2, Cody Mack at 3. I'll be with you at 4. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody. We'll talk again on Monday.